Welcome back to Unsanctioned MMA. This Saturday, we got the Sandman, Corey Sandhagen, and TJ Dillashaw going at it in his return back to the UFC. I think this fight could mean a lot for the Bantamweight Division, specifically the title. And not just the winner of this fight fights the winner of Aljo and Peter Yan. We know that is how that will probably play out. But Dana White is showing us these past few weeks that he's not afraid to throw an interim title out there. And when you look at the calendar, there's only about 3 or 4 more pay-per-view shows left that aren't booked. September's done. I'm pretty sure they're not going to add any more title fights to the September card. So we're looking at October, November, December. And we haven't heard anything about Aljo being remotely ready to go. So I think if this fight between Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw ends spectacularly, if Corey Sandhagen can come out and duplicate the knee that he hit Frankie Edgar with, or if TJ Dillashaw in this comeback fight can come out and get a spectacular finish very early, I don't put it past the UFC to say, hey, Corey Sandhagen, 2 spectacular knockouts in a row, let's get you in there with Peter Yan right now for the interim title fight, since Aljo's not ready. Or TJ Dillashaw, you never lost the belt. You never lost his championship. You came back in your comeback fight. You knocked out the #1 contender pretty convincingly, very quickly. Let's get you in there with Peter Yan for an interim title fight since Aljo's not ready to go. I don't see the UFC not saying that. The Bantamweight division is now at a place where it is actually moving forward. That division has been stagnant for a very long time at the top. Dominic Cruz came in as the champ and held on to the championship for a long time. When you go through the list of Bantamweight champions, it's not a long list. And a lot of the names that you see on the list of Bantamweight champions, they are still in contention. Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw, who we're talking about, Dominic Cruz, who we just mentioned. Henry Cejudo's 1 phone call away from being right back in the title picture. And you have these up-and-coming killers like Rob Font, Sugar Sean O'Malley. That division needs some movement at the top. It is finally getting to a point where 135 is interesting. And it took us a while to get back to this point. Henry Cejudo left the division, and a lot of people in the industry were still bringing up old names. Jose Aldo, Frankie Edgar. Let's give these people a look. This division now has some new faces, some young blood, fighters that fans are excited about. We're excited to see how far Rob Font can go. We're excited to see what Sugar Sean can do once he gets in there with top 10 competition. How fast does he get elevated to a title shot? We're excited to see if Corey Sandhagen can become the champion with that style, or if TJ can come back without steroids and have the same form he used to have. We're excited to see what's happening at the top. And Aljo, who doesn't even want to be champion, apparently, is not ready to defend his belt. And just like with the heavyweight division, an interim title fight is not bad for anybody. If we can get a title fight going between the winner of this fight and Peter Yan, an interim title fight, and let that fight drum up interest in whoever goes to face Aljo, I say let's do it. Peter Yan, you're still 1 fight away from a belt. I don't see why he would have a problem with it. Aljo needs to heal up and get his injuries fixed and ready to go. Take your time, champ. But we're going to find a new interim champion because this division is hot. This division is hot right now. We got names who are coming up. We got fights that need to be made, and everybody wants to start working towards that title fight. And if you're sitting there, everyone knows the title fight is 2 fights away from everybody because Aljo and Peter Yan have business. That holds the division up. So I would not be surprised that if Saturday night, if Corey Sandhagen or TJ Dillashaw does something spectacular, we don't see them in an interim title fight with Peter Yan. I think it's very much a possibility, and I think that fight could happen before the end of the year. Again, you guys let me know what you think in the comments. If you agree, do you see an interim title fight between Peter Yan and the winner Saturday night if someone performs spectacularly? Or do you think everyone waits for Aljo and Peter Yan? Again, we do a video once a day here on Unsanctioned. Tune in. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.